Previously on Jay's Bar and Club J, I've seen these before, like on this head over here, it has that little thing jutting out on it.
Yeah, I can never figure that out, but maybe it's for like attached to heads above ground, maybe?
Possibly.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know what that's for. So I found out that they had pop-up riser sprinkler heads that had this weird side outlet on it, and I never really understood what it was for until I finally found out by some other video on YouTube. And then I said, ooh, that could be very useful. Like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. So I started inventing. And I said, great, all I need to do now is find one. So I looked, and they didn't have any. And I looked, and they didn't have any. And I looked, and they didn't have any. And I was going to end up having to go to an irrigation supply house until I happened to be in Home Depot the other day, and I found one. Bottom connection with that weird side plug, and you have to buy the top head of it separate. So what's this for? Well, these pop up. This is a 6-inch height. This part pops up 6 inches. Now, this can also be put in the ground, but if you don't want to dig a hole as deep as this thing is long, in other words, if your pipes don't go down to where the bottom of this is hanging right now, and instead it's where that side plug is, then you can just take that plug out, put it in the bottom port of it, and pipe it in just like that, right there. I said, oh, okay. Well, that means that within the body of this thing, they're just connected together, and that means that I could potentially tee off of that. Why? Because we keep a plant on the front steps, and it never really gets watered. So I said, well, I can take this sprinkler head that's in there, right there, and replace that with this guy, have the little side thing come out, and then I can do like a drip irrigation thing. And it so turns out that I had just shown you in another video this little flower thing here, and that is perfect for this application. Now it has a hose connector on the end there, and that's real easy to convert because that's just that irrigation drip tubing. So raiding the clearance rack at Walmart a couple of years ago, I ran into this. Just a little pop-up riser kind of thing, but handy, because that can screw in right there. It's the same fitting as right down here. See how it screws in, so it can screw in there. Water will come in here. This thing will do its job, and water will chooch out here too. Let me take that out, so that'll screw into that, put that aside. It'll go into this thing. Also at Walmart, probably under $1 I paid for it, and this is an irrigation sprinkler, drip irrigation thing, and this just unscrews over here. You slip this tubing on. This is the little froggy guy I had. You slip the tubing on that, and it has 4 of these little choochers here. Fortunately, these guys have their own little controls right there, so I could adjust the water flow. And this has its own little half-inch connection, just like that. So that'll go into that. That'll go into that, like that. And then the drip irrigation will go on one of these guys. Water comes in here, shrubs get watered, and the plants will get watered through that. And to boot, I'm going to end up with some sort of weird little nozzle thing for the hose, just as a spare thing. So we'll also test that out at the end of the video just to show you what it does. So anyway, let's get started. First thing we got to do is remove that plug. Okay, so let me show you this first. Here's the side plug. I just loosened it, and now it can simply unscrew. And normally you'd be burying this whole thing in the ground up to about here, or even actually up to about here really, and your pipe would just go in there. But in this case, we're going to shoot the water in up here, and it's going to come out this way into all the rest I'm going to add, okay, and out the top. So let's talk about that first. This does not come with its own head at the top here, the spray nozzle. This is a separate purchase of another couple of bucks or so. And this one is, it looks pretty nice. This is actually, they have all different ranges. This is a 12-foot adjustable nozzle, so it'll spray 12 feet out. They had a 15, they had a 20, I think. And this gray thing, which looks like it might be an interesting looking nozzle as well, was actually was what was just on here with that plastic ring, kind of like on an orange juice container or something like that, so you could just pull it up and screw on the new head. So anyway, enough of that. The plug, like I said, if you were burying it, you put in the bottom, but since we're putting water in there, we're not going to do that. This is going to screw in just like this right quick. This is going to screw on here. Good enough for now, and that is going to mate up with that. These three will stay capped, so they shouldn't leak, and that's it. And then I can adjust the flow. Now I'm going to be using the copper-looking one like you saw before, but just because this is going to be under constant pressure, I'm just going to Teflon these. So we'll get some Teflon tape on that now. Okay, now Sharky626 put up a video rather recently on fixing his Polaris booster pump, and he put Teflon tape on stuff and he showed you how to do it, so we're going to do it Sharky's way. Put it with the threads facing you, so obviously this is going to be facing the camera in this case because you're off to my side. Apply the Teflon tape and wrap in a clockwise direction, just like that. So just give that a couple of wraps like that. Just pull it off and we're good. And I'm just going to do the same to the other side. Alright, now with the Teflon tape on there wrapped in a clockwise direction, when you screw this in, the Teflon tape will not unravel itself. Just like that. So that screws in. And whoop, that was because my hand actually just did that. But you can see as the tape wraps in that direction, that's also the same direction I'm going to be screwing that on, so it won't unravel. And in this case, I don't want to actually put a pipe wrench or anything on here, because it's plastic, so you don't want to tighten it down that much. But because this has a nice like knurled grip here, I can just tighten down by hand just till it's about there. And that's it. Now this will screw on to the existing riser that's there, replacing the existing sprinkler, and we'll just chooch off of one of these guys for that. And I have plans of also using a little froggy guy here to put another plant on the steps, and you can see I could actually run 4 of them off of that. And because it's a drip irrigation, I don't see any reason why there wouldn't be enough water pressure to do this, so let's go try it all out. This is the original one that I've just removed, which is now going to be replaced by this assembly. Alright, so now this just screws right on. See, it just swings around like that. Plenty of room. And I'll just tighten that down and then I'll pack the dirt around it so it'll be nice and good. So first things third, I just want to get the right spray angle. That green top is adjustable there, so I just turn that. And then that way I can get the water to spray where I need it to. Alright, now all we do is just loosen this cap. We'll just pull that off. And it has a nice little port, which you can see right there, for this hose to go onto. Shove that out of the way, and now we'll go turn the water on and see what happens. Okay, putting the water on now. And you can see it is drip irrigating. See how it drips like that? And he's also got a little stream there, but I can adjust him also with his little thing there. Just like that. And just get a little trickle of water out like that. And now this plant will be watered. I'll just angle it, get him in there. I'll pick him up a bit and turn him more down so it doesn't spray out like that. And I think he's going to get plenty of water that way. So that's it. Now I've added drip irrigation to an existing sprinkler zone on my in-ground sprinkler system, just like that. So you can see right there in the corner, it's not focusing on it, but there's my sprinkler head there, which is working fine. This one over here is also working fine, as is this here. With the two heads that are in here, the new head, which is at a little bit of a angle now just because of the pressure in that and the height, but that's okay. And the last head right there, so adding this little drip irrigation thing, which seems to be working just peachy. I'll see if I can get you a nice close-up right there. You can see the droplets, just like that. Working great. In fact, his little tray thing is filling up, so I could actually turn him down. I don't know how long I've had it on, but this zone runs for about 20 minutes, so I could definitely turn that down, and he'll get plenty of water. So there was that. Not much to it, just kind of plug it all in and it works. And because it's a drip irrigation, it uses very little water, so I was able to add an additional head, if you will, and I can add up to 3 more with that fitting that I have that I found at Walmart. And there's one last order of business. What does this thing look like when you put the hose on? Let's find out. And here's the answer. Just a jet of water that squirts out, well, pretty far and pretty strong. Go right here and go like that, and of course it's not powerful enough to really clean this here. Although I think it actually is helping a little bit. You need a power washer for that, which I have. Oh, it actually is taking some of it off, as you can see there. Looks like mold or moss growth or something like that. So if you enjoyed pissing this time away with me, consider clicking like, consider clicking subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.